The general manager just made a move that's got all of Chicago shocked. Our star running back is letting us down right when we need it most. And now the head coach just dropped a bomb about the future that has this fan base completely split. After last year's Hail Mary in this same stadium, we need answers today. If you think there's going to be a miracle move or that Swift will fix himself, you're way off. What I'm about to reveal about our defense is going to leave you speechless. Chicago doesn't play. And this is the moment where we find out if we're contenders or just living in a pipe dream. Stick around till the end. The Bears' defense is about to face the toughest reality check of the season. And let me just say it, we are not ready. Jaden Daniels is rolling into Northwest Stadium with a mission. The same stadium where our hearts got ripped out exactly a year ago after that damn Hail Mary now. We're headed back to that nightmare to face a quarterback who runs like a tailback and throws like he's a 10-year vet. Check out these numbers and tell me it's not terrifying. The Bears are giving up 106 to 4.5 rush yards per game. 164.5. That ranks us as the second worst run defense in the entire NFL. But wait, it actually gets more embarrassing. Back in week 4 against the Raiders, a team with no elite ground game, they ran for 240 yards on us. 240. Can someone tell me how a defense in Chicago, the monsters of the Midway, Urlacher, Peppers, and Singletary's house, is letting average teams run all over us like we're some college squad? And here comes Jaden Daniels. You all saw what he did to us last year, 50 to rushing yards on 8 carries. 326 yards passing, and that touchdown from hell at the end. And that was as a rookie. As a rookie, now he's got a year under his belt, making reads quicker, more confident. And he's showing up in Chicago to finish what he started last season. Sports Illustrated dropped a prediction that had me losing sleep. Daniels is going off for 75 yards on the ground and getting his first rushing TD of the season. Against who? US, the Bears, in the exact same stadium where we got humiliated a year ago. Carl Rasmussen wrote, whether it's a designed run or he breaks loose, Daniels is going to look to make plays with his legs, and I expect he'll do just that. You know what makes me lose my mind? Everyone sees it coming. Everyone knows our run defense is a mess, and Daniels is set to roast us. But here's the glimmer of hope. I think this could actually flip the whole game. TJ Edwards is back, finally. The most reliable run stopper we have is suiting up right in time for this game. Edwards is the dude who makes those must-have tackles on 3rd and short. Who sniffs out plays before they even happen? Who throws his body in the fire every damn down? If there's anyone who can keep Daniels in check when he takes off, it's Edwards. We also get Kyler Gordon back in the secondary. Gordon's absolutely crucial when it comes to locking up those speedy receivers Washington has, even if some are banged up. But here's the catch, we just lost Grady Jarrett with a knee injury. Jarrett's a vital cog in our D-line, a guy who eats double teams for breakfast and still brings pressure. Without him, our front gets weaker just when we need to get after Daniels most. Washington's rocking the league's #1 rushing attack, folks. #1. Averaging 156.4 yards per game on the ground. The Commanders know what's up. They're gonna run the ball right down our throats until we prove we can stop it. So far, we've shown nothing that says we can. Let me keep it simple. If the Commanders run for more than 115 total yards tonight, we lose. That's it. No debate, because every time they convert on 3rd down on the ground, every time Daniels scrambles for a crucial first, every time their back breaks tackles into the second level, we're just handing them the ball and the momentum. Against a team like Washington that can milk the clock, that's a death sentence. Understand what's on the line. This isn't just another Monday Night Football game. This is the one where we show 2024 is in the rear view. This is the night where we show the NFL that Chicago's got a real defense, not just big names on a roster. This is the moment TJ Edwards and this defense have got to stand up to Jaden Daniels and say, not tonight, not in our house, not against the Bears. Because if Daniels runs for those 75 and gets that rushing touchdown everyone's calling, if Washington gaslights us on the ground like the Raiders did, every conversation about us contending in the NFC North goes straight in the trash. The Packers will be laughing at us, the Vikings will think we're the same old Bears, and the Lions, just getting started, will see us as a team that talks big but can't back it up. Dennis Allen's got a mountain to climb tonight. He's got to figure out how to stack 9 guys in the box without giving the whole secondary away. He's got to scheme up blitzes that get to Daniels before he can make his mind up to run. He's got to bet on Gordon and the DBS to win their matchups. When Washington inevitably tries to take shots, and here's my call. Because something has to change, TJ Edwards is going to be the defensive player of the game. Minimum 12 tackles, he's going to force a fumble. And he's the reason we keep Daniels under those 75 yards everyone's talking about. Edwards gets it, he knows what it means to wear the navy and orange. He knows tonight ain't just another game on the schedule. Tonight is about payback. Tonight is about proving everyone wrong after last year's Hail Mary that this team is different. But here's my question for you. Bears fans, do you really believe this defense can shut down Jaden Daniels? After what we saw against the Raiders? After weeks of being one of the league's worst against the run? Because I want to believe. I need to believe Edwards changes everything. But until I see it on the field, until I see this D making stops when it matters, I've got doubts. I've got doubts. And if you think our defense is rough, just wait till we talk about the hot mess that's our ground game on offense. D'Andre Swift is having the worst season of his pro career, and it might cost us tonight's game. I'm not being a downer. I'm just being real. The numbers don't lie, and Swift's numbers are UGLY. 100 to .3 rushing yards per game. That ranks us as the 9th worst rushing offense in the NFL, 9th worst. A team that's supposed to be balanced, supposed to control the clock and protect a rookie QB, is running the ball like a college team. And most of the blame, Swift falls right on your shoulders. 3.3 yards per carry. 3.3. You know what that means? Every time we hand it to Swift on first down, we're starting 2nd and 7. Every damn time. That dumps an insane amount of stress on Caleb Williams and the passing game. Forces them to be basically perfect on 2nd and 3rd because our RB1 the guy. Ryan Poles brought in to be the guy. The dude cashing millions can't even pick up a single yard after first contact. Look at what happened against the Raiders in Week 4. We almost lost a game because we couldn't run the ball. Stuck in 2nd and long, 3rd and long over and over. Asking Williams to pull off miracles just to keep drives alive. We squeaked by a mediocre Raiders squad, but against Washington, against the defense loading up to stop the run and teeing off on Williams, there's not gonna be any happy endings. So here it is, if Swift doesn't average at least for .5 per carry tonight, we lose. It's that simple. We need Swift to have the big dog game of his season, and we need it now, not next week. Not into weeks. Tonight on Monday Night Football against the Commanders. Because here's the ugly truth nobody wants to admit. Washington's secondary SUCKS. They're giving up points left and right in the back end. If we can keep Caleb in 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, where he can play action or check down, where he can target that shaky secondary with Romo Duns or DJ Moore, we win this game easy. But if we're back to 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9 because Swift can't move the chains, we're toast. And here's what really pisses me off. Swift's got all the tools. Fast, good vision, can catch out the backfield. But something's not clicking. Maybe it's the scheme. Maybe O-line isn't opening lanes. Maybe Swift's still learning Ben Johnson's system. I don't know exactly what it is, but something's got to give now. Ben Johnson's supposed to be an offensive genius, right? That's what everyone said when Poles hired him. Ben Johnson's gonna revolutionize Chicago's offense. So tell me why our run game is worse this year than last. With the same RB, tell me why we're not working to get Swift out in space. Why we're still slamming him into loaded boxes instead of mixing in motion. Using screens, calling draws. Washington's going to stack the box tonight. Straight up daring us. Show us you can run. Bears, cause we're not buying it. If Swift rolls out and puts up to .8 yards a carry again, if our run game is a ghost again, then we're just gifting the Commanders the game. But I do believe, hear me out, I do believe Swift is ready to explode tonight. He has to. There's got to be some kind of professional pride kicking in here. A back like Swift, who's done it in Detroit against these same NFC North defenses, just can't keep stalling out like this. Tonight, on the big stage, with the whole country watching, Swift gets 110 rushing yards in ATD. I'm calling it now, if not. If we keep seeing the same Swift who can't break tackles, who's dancing too much in the backfield, can't hit a hole with conviction, then it's time to have a real talk about whether this dude should keep the RB1 job. And that's a conversation nitrogen monoxide 1 in Chicago wants to have 3 months. After Poles made him a centerpiece, offensive. Line's gotta step up to it's not all on Swift, but if your running back is stuck at 3.3 a tote, constantly getting hit behind the line, something's broken. Either the blockers aren't winning at the snap, Swift isn't reading right, or the run scheme is busted. But whatever it is, it has to get fixed tonight. Because look what's at stake with the rushing attack. If we can move the ball on the ground, string together long drives, and eat up the clock, then we limit how much time Jaden Daniels gets the ball. That's the real key. We can't get in a shootout where we're trading punts every 3 snaps. We need those 8, 9, 10 play drives where we eat up clock, keep our defense fresh, and don't let Washington get in rhythm. And here's my other take. Ben Johnson's got some trick plays dialed up for Swift tonight. We're gonna see some new motion. We're gonna see Swift lining up in the slot as a receiver. We're gonna see screen passes designed to roast Washington's aggressive front. Because Johnson knows we have to get the ground game rolling. You can't win in the NFL just with your rookie QB's arm. So here's what I'm throwing out there for Bears Nation. Can D'Andre Swift be the dude? This offense needs him to be. Or do we have to accept that maybe this just isn't his year? Maybe we start looking for someone else. Because I want to believe in Swift. I want to see the guy who made plays in Detroit, who was a double threat. But after 4 weeks of 3.3 per carry, my patience is thin. And I know Bears Nation feels the same. Now, here's what's got everyone in Bears Nation split today. Ben Johnson, our rookie head coach, just dropped a bombshell about the trade deadline. And now fans are debating whether we're playing it to safe, or Johnson's actually smart playing the long game. And I seriously have strong takes about this, so stick with me. Johnson basically said we're not making any big moves at the trade deadline. We've got a good 53-man roster. We've got a solid practice squad we can pull up from when we need it. That's really our focus, Johnson said Saturday. You read that right, Bears fans. Nothing big is coming. There's not gonna be some superstar rolling in to save us. And listen, I get the frustration. We all want Ryan Poles to make a splash, bring in that impact linebacker, or a reliable number 2 receiver to take heat off DJ Moore, or a pass rusher who can actually get to the QB. But Johnson saying, nope, we're riding with who we got. I don't sit around thinking about what we don't have or who we wish we could add, Johnson added. That's not really our mindset this time of year. After the year, we'll do the evaluations. Make sure we feel good about our guys, maybe re-sign a few, or look to upgrade if we have to. And here's where I think Johnson's right. Even though I know a bunch of you hate hearing it, this is year 1 of a full rebuild. This is not the year we're supposed to win the Super Bowl. We're not in the same window as the Lions or Eagles, going all in because they know their time is now. We're building something from scratch. Caleb Williams is a rookie. Ben Johnson is a rookie head coach. We've got 23 new faces on the roster compared to last year. 23. This year is for finding out who's actually core here for the next 5, 6, 7 years. So let me ask, do you really want Poles burning draft picks and cap space for a 1-year rental? That won't even be here next season? Because that's exactly what any big trade would mean. Bringing in a vet that costs draft picks, wants a big extension, and might not even fit in Johnson's long-term plan. Then, come March, when that dude bounces in free agency, we're left with nothing to show for those picks, back to square one. Johnson said something super important. We're all on the same page. We're still getting all the pieces put together. It's rare in year 1 with a new coach that everything's exactly as you want it. We're working toward that, and I think we've made big strides so far. There's still a ton of work to do, but I'm really encouraged about where we're headed now. That's a coach who understands it's a process, not about winning 10 games this year. It's about setting a winning culture, developing Caleb right, finding out which players are building blocks, and then, once that's solid, going all in and making the big moves. But here's what does worry me, and I think it's a fair worry. Caleb Williams is on his rookie contract. That gives us 4 years where his cap hit is relatively low. That's our window. And if we use the first of those 4 years to evaluate and build culture, aren't we wasting that cheap contract? Look at the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, the Bengals with Joe Burrow, the Bills with Josh Allen. All those teams built around their young QBs right away. They loaded up the roster to win NOW while their QB was cheap. And here we are, saying, hey, let's see. We'll wait till next year, but I get the flip side. The Vikings went all in at the deadline last year, burned picks on high-priced vets, made the playoffs, then got bounced early, and now they're retooling AGAIN. The Rams went all in, won a Super Bowl, and spent the next years in cap hell recovery mode. So what's right? Here's the bottom line. Johnson is betting the guys already here can compete this year. And if we grow this group the right way, once we've got that core in a year under Williams' belt, then we pounce for the top dog moves. Truth is, we're honestly not that far off. We got our franchise QB in Williams. We've got stud receivers in Moore and O'Duns. The O-line's getting better. Defensively, we've got pieces with Sweat, Burns, Edwards, Brisker. The problem isn't a lack of talent, it's the lack of consistent execution. And if you can't execute, no outside players fixing that overnight. The answer is coaching, reps, chemistry, working with the guys already in the locker room. That's what Johnson's saying. Some guys will go down, some will step up. Johnson said, "We're just doing everything we can to fill those gaps and help our players show what they do best." That says Johnson is putting his faith in the practice squad, in young guys, in the players he's been working with every day since camp started. He's telling them, "Y'all are my guys. Win or lose, I'm riding with you, not some hired gun." And honestly, I respect that. I respect a coach who looks his roster in the eye and says, "I'm in this with you." I'm not chasing a miracle fix. That builds trust. That builds culture. That's how you get players to go to war for you. But Bears Nation needs to understand, this means 2025 is a building year. We might finish 8-9. We could finish 9-8 and miss a wild card. And we've got to be okay with that if it means we're primed for a real playoff run in 2026. 2027, with a season Williams and a roster Johnson shaped his way. But patience is rare in this league. Fans want to win now. The organization wants to win now. And if things blow up this season, if we end up with a losing record, how long will Johnson get before people start doubting if he was the right pick? Personally, and this is just my take, I think Johnson is right to play long term. But I also think he's got to deliver some results this year. He needs at least 9 wins. He needs to show clear progress. Because if not, all this building for the future talk will sound like empty excuses. And Bears fans don't have time for that. So here's my last question for you. Do you trust Ben Johnson's long-term vision? Or do you think Poles and Johnson are just being too cautious and should be making bigger moves to take advantage of Caleb Williams' rookie deal? For real, I'm split 50-50 on it. Split 50-50 on it. Alright, Bears Nation, that's a wrap on another news banger that's got Chicago totally split. The defense is facing its toughest test against Jaden Daniels and the league's best ground game. Swift has been trash and needs the game of his life tonight, or else we're gonna have to talk about whether he's really our RB1. And Ben Johnson just said there's nitrogen monoxide big moves at the trade deadline. Going all in on riding with the guys we've got for the long haul. So let me hit you with this. And I need y'all in the comments. Can this defense really stop Jaden Daniels without any extra help? Is Danders Swift the guy who's gonna carry this offense, or do we start considering plan B? And do you really back Johnson sticking with player development over big trades? Or do you think we're straight up wasting year 1 of Caleb Williams' contract? Because here's the thing, tonight is huge, not just for our record, not just for revenge after last year's Fail Mary, but to show everyone who we are as a team. Are we built to win now with the squad we have? Or are we a work in progress needing another year or two before we're legit? And here's what I need from you, Bears Nation. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe for more, because tomorrow, no matter what happens tonight, I'm right back here giving you the most passionate, honest, and deep Bears analysis you'll find. No sugarcoating, no BS. I'll tell it like it is, the good, the bad, the ugly. If you think Swift needs to step up, throw this video a like. Drop a comment if you think Johnson is blowing it at the trade deadline. And share this with every Bears fan you know. This conversation's way too important to just keep to ourselves. We're a family here, Bears Nation. A family that's been through it all together, good, bad, heartbreaking, Fail Mary, and everything in between. And we'll be here together, no matter what happens tonight at Northwest Stadium. End of the day, we bleed navy and orange. We live and die by this squad. And we're not giving up, no matter how many times we get knocked down. So subscribe. Turn on the bell so you don't miss a thing. Bears are about to hit the most crucial stretch of the season. The next 6 games define who we are, if we're legit or just faking. And I'll be here the whole way, breaking down every snap, every choice, every move. This is our city. This is our team. It's time to show the world Chicago never folds. Bear down, family. I'll see you after the game for the full breakdown. DA Bears.